Hey there, welcome everyone. Today is Saturday, March the 18th, and we would like to welcome you to the Saturday morning breakfast with Tammy and Cher. And this is all about getting ready for the conference.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tammy, and we're happy to have you with us this morning. It's 1 week till conference time, so we wanted to have a great conversation with you and be able to help you get the most out of the conference. So we're here with Cher and myself for the next little bit to have a great conversation.
Yes, and the Women in Business Leadership Conference is going to rock your socks off. So if you are not signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Go visit us on the website, and that's willbeconference.com, and sign up because let me tell you, what are we now? Are we like 80% sold or a little bit more than
We're
80%
closer to
sold now?
90% sold out. Hotel rooms are just about gone. There might be one or
Close.
two left. But we still want you there. And you know what? If the closer we get to being sold out, the more creative we can get with trying to find ways to get people in, because we want it to be a full house. This is about you getting to your next level.
Exactly. And Tammy, for those who don't know me, my name is Cher Jones, and I'm a social media trainer, and I'm going to be the social host for the event because my job is really about getting everyone out there social and connected and making sure that you know what you're doing online so that you can leverage this amazing space that we have to build your connections, build on the fact that you've invested in this conference so that you can grow your business, grow your career, and grow opportunities for you. But Tammy, one of the things I want to talk about before I give away my 7 awesome tips, and by the way, if you're watching this right now and you want to share this with your friends, whether they're going to the Will Be conference or not, the one thing that you should know is these tips apply for any conference. So we're going to be giving away 7 amazing tips that you can leverage whether it's at this conference and any other conference you go to. So
Absolutely.
I'd encourage you guys right now, if you can, share this broadcast, whether you're watching live or on the replay. We're going to give some really good tips away. And Tammy, before I go into my tips, I think it's important that we talk about goals.
Absolutely. So we know that when you spend 2.5 days or even a day at a conference, it's a day out of your life that I know that your inbox is going to be piled up and your emails are going to be waiting for you when you get back. So it is an investment. We want to make sure that you, before you even get into that conference, before you drive there or fly there, whatever you're doing, that you take a good hard look at what do you want to get out of it and why are you going? And there are so many conferences and so many development opportunities to choose from that you chose this one for a reason. And
Mhm.
we think it's a great choice. We just want to make sure that you get the most out of it. So think about, where do I want to be at the end of this conference? What do I want to get out of it? What am I looking for that will help get me to my next level? And be as specific as you can. So it might be something along the lines of, I want to meet 3 people that could introduce me to this new world that I haven't thought of doing. Or I want to meet one person in this field because I'm thinking of seriously moving into that role and I want to build a connection that can help me get there. So be really specific with what you want to get out of the conference, articulate it, write it down, and then that will be used to help you to get ready over the next week or so. And with the tips that you're going to share for social connection, knowing your objective first is really key.
I couldn't agree more because once you have a plan in place, now it's about rocking that plan. And then
Absolutely.
you're starting to see what's coming at you and you're starting to see the opportunities there. And the tips that I'm going to share with you guys right now are really designed to help you get focused and on the goal that you want to achieve while you're at the conference, and then elevate it to the next level because it's going to be powered by social media, which is so
Absolutely.
awesome.
Right.
Okay, so we are ready to head into my 7 tips to help you rock any conference, and specifically the Women in Leadership and Business
It's a
Conference.
mouthful to say. Let's say
It is,
will be. We're
you
going to
know
say
what?
will be.
It will be, but it's a mouthful to say, but an even more awesome opportunity to be at. So either
Absolutely.
way, Women in Leadership and Business Conference, aka will be, hashtag will be. So make sure you learn that hashtag because I'll be talking about that in a bit because you can leverage that as well. So I want to jump right into my first tip. And the first tip, no matter what conference you're going to, I don't care. You need to be on Twitter. And the reason why is all the conversations, all the real time things that are happening at the conference are being discussed on Twitter. People are sharing their thoughts. And that's something that I actually want to get you to do while you're at the conference. But this is about before the conference. So while it's important to be on Twitter at the conference, one of the things that I want to make sure that you guys are thinking about while at before the conference is getting engaged at the conference. And you want to make sure that you're not setting up your Twitter account at the conference, because this is how people are going to be talking. This is a great way to connect to the speakers. We are also going to be tweeting a lot of things as they go along. So you're definitely going to want to be there. Tammy, have you noticed for yourself when you go to conferences that that conversation is definitely happening on Twitter?
It absolutely is. And I'll tell you, I've noticed a difference between the conferences that I've been to where I haven't been on Twitter before and the ones where I have. So, and I'm looking at the Twitter posts that we're doing before the conference. So you'll get to see who's coming to the conference
Yes.
by watching their tweets. So, and you'll get to know who are the real activators and who are the real influencers. And so having that knowledge before the conference really helps. And I know when I've been to a conference and I've used Twitter before, I've identified a couple of people that I wanted to plan to meet, and then I met them at the conference. So it really helped me to hone in and target.
Exactly. You think that Tammy was the social media trainer because those are my tips. She like gave them away. But don't worry, I'm going to deep dive. That's exactly it. But you see, it's just common sense. A lot of the tips that I'm sharing are just common sense. So the first thing, again, is get on Twitter. Take the time to set up your account. And then also, while you're going on Twitter, this is going to bring me to my next tip. And that next tip right now is update your LinkedIn profile. Okay. And what's really cool when you're updating and getting on Twitter, or if you haven't been on Twitter in a while and you need to update your account, the same thing that you're doing on LinkedIn, as far as from an updating perspective, is the same thing that you need to do on Twitter. So what I want to mention, probably the most important thing is you got to show up like you're going to show up. So if you have an outdated picture on your LinkedIn profile, an outdated picture on Twitter, or maybe a picture of something that's not even you on any one of your profiles, you want to change that. Because the thing is, when people meet you, they're already Googling you. They're already looking you up. Right. And your picture really does communicate who you are. And they're like, the minute you have something that is distracting from who you are right now, it becomes a distraction. They're more concerned with, wow, your hair was red here and now you're blonde. Or your hair was short, so this picture was clearly 4 years ago and you look kind of different. So you want to make sure.
A great picture and you love that picture.
That's for Facebook. Oh. And it's a throwback picture for Facebook. The reason why is that it's part of this subconscious know, like, and trust factor, because when people meet you online first, and that's what we're really truly trying to ensure that people have that experience, is that they actually meet you and then they meet you. Right? So if they met you and then you show up completely different, it's like you lied to them right off the bat.
Okay.
It's a subconscious thing that's happening. And then the other thing too is, like, I see that some women, I don't know if you remember glamour shots from the 80s. I did them. I have these like amazing, crazy pictures that I'd have to dig up.
Big hair.
Big, like I had big hair, but I had bigger hair for my glamour shot. Okay. And what was really funny about that is, like, I don't show up like I'm going on a Hollywood, like to a gala for like a Hollywood gala or something like that. So like makeup done, like extra makeup. I don't show up like that in real life.
Right.
So it's almost a letdown.
Okay.
So ultimately, it's your picture. Make sure you show up like you show up, good, looking good. And then on top of that, make sure you take advantage, more importantly than anything else, is that little headline that explains what you do and how you serve. Because immediately what you're doing is you're giving people an image and an idea and the words to describe how you help or how you can help them.
Right.
So it's important to take that time. And if you're attending my session, I'll be talking a lot more about that and a lot more about how you show up and how you package your awesome. But in the meantime, I think those are the two most important pieces. So when it comes to your profile, whether it's LinkedIn or Twitter, make sure your picture is up to date and that little mini bio says something about what you do and how you serve.
Okay.
So that people can identify how you can help or help someone in their network.
Okay.
So we're already on 2 tips. So get on Twitter, update your LinkedIn profile. And the next tip, which you mentioned, Tammy, which is so smart. And it's, see, these are basic things, but are people doing them? And it's join the conversation. So you talked about that, about watching what's happening. People are already starting to tweet, but have you?
Right.
Have you tweeted about the conference that you're going? And this is not just us saying, hey, talk about Wilby. Yes,
No.
we'd love for you to talk about Wilby. But when you join the conversation, it's all about being visible in the conference space.
Talk about you. Talk about,
Exactly.
hey, Wilby, or I can't wait to go, and here's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody going to Wilby that is here? Like, just ask some questions and engage
Yes,
people and get some conversation going so that you start to be not noticed in a, hey, watch me coming, but people start to know what you're looking for and they can help you meet your goals.
exactly. And where you can, so while you're joining the conversation, you can also, and you mentioned this, Tammy, which is great, also take a look at who has joined the conversation.
Yes.
And not just who's commenting, but who's liking. So you can take a look at this, and it's not just limited to Twitter or LinkedIn. You can check out Facebook. Our Facebook page is pretty active right now. People are getting involved. People are commenting. If there's anybody commenting on this broadcast, which we welcome you to share, whether you're watching live or later on, comment in the broadcast, because now people
Yeah.
can see, oh, I'm going. And now what they're doing, and we all do this, we click on their profile to see who they are, get to know who they are, and get an idea of who's coming, and also put yourself out there so people can then click on you and start to connect, which brings me to my next piece, which is connect with other attendees. And that's something that when you do that, you will see an incredible value that comes out of building these relationships even before you get there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know, Tammy, have you ever done that where you just actually connected with strangers online and ended up meeting them somewhere else?
Like meeting them somewhere other than at the
Uh,
conference?
oh, whether it's at a conference or eventually you end up doing business with them. Has
Oh,
that ever happened to
absolutely.
you?
So there's somebody that actually reached out to me on Twitter over the conference, but I had never met them before. Now, I had heard their name through other circles, and so it was a matter of one network connecting to another network.
Yes.
And then she ended up coming to our International Women's Day event at the Marquee Dream Store. And
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm going to an event at CAPS, which is the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. So we met through some kind of a network connection. She attended an event to support, I'm attending an event to support, and together we're growing our network exponentially because of that. It's really cool.
Right. And it's funny, like you can't even start, when you even try to calculate the ROI on these relationships, it's almost impossible. It's trying to like calculate the ROI on your mother. Like your mother's just done so much for you. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised at how much social media can do for you, just simply because of the fact that you are making these relationships, you're making these
Absolutely.
interactions, if you're doing your research, you're checking them out, and you're seeing how you can help them. It's not
Yeah.
all about you and gimme, gimme, gimme. It's about being a part of a bigger network that is being brought together by Wilby because of the fact that it's attracting like people just like you. So we've already done some of the vetting for you.
Yes, you've said it is about connecting. It's about connecting
Mm-hmm.
with other great leaders
Yes.
and seeing how you can impact each other's world.
Yes. And that couldn't be more important. So, again, when it comes down to connecting with other attendees, again, look in the comments. Start being active there. Reply to other people's comments. It's not just about maybe, let's say, commenting on this broadcast here. It's also replying to other people.
Mhm.
It's looking to see who has favorited a tweet or who's liked something, who's loved something, any of the emojis that you can use to say what you're thinking about that. And go back in past posts as well, because we posted some great stuff, especially around International Women's Day and beyond, to help you grow. And not only are you connecting with other attendees, connect with the speakers too.
Yeah.
This is your chance. Like we're just regular people like the rest of you guys. We're just sharing what we know in context of the conference. So this is your opportunity again to grow your network, build partnerships. You never know where down the road they might come into play.
Good point.
Okay, so we have gone through, let's see, we're at number 4 right now. So get on Twitter, So you guys promise, if you're making notes, which I hope you are, set up that Twitter account. If you're having trouble with that Twitter account, message me. I'm all over the pages anyway. You can just send me a message. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Let me know. I'll help you. Plus, I'm going to create a quick video to show you if anybody's stuck on trying to get on Twitter, because I want to make sure that you're there. It will increase your conference experience exponentially. And of course, update your LinkedIn profile, because your LinkedIn profile completely tells people how you can help them, how you can serve, or how they can connect you to somebody in their network. And then join the conversation. So that is getting that hashtag out there, searching that hashtag, so hashtag WILB, and you want to see what are people posting about, and what are people talking about, and then of course connect. So you found these posts, you see what they're talking about, and connect, and of course make sure that you're part of it. So not only are you connecting, you're joining the conversation as well.
Great point.
And then here's where it gets really, really good. So tip number 6 is plan a meetup. This is really important. Yes. So if you go into the website after this broadcast, of course, but if you go into the website and take a look at the agenda, you could plan, technically, if you're really savvy, you can plan to meet somebody new and sit with somebody new in every single session that you plan on attending. So you can already have a friend. You can have a buddy that you'd like to meet because you've already connected with them. You've seen what they bring to the table because they've updated their LinkedIn profile too, and they're on Twitter. Now it's about connecting with them and planning a meetup. So, hey, I'm going to this session. You want to come?
And they will receive, everybody that's signed up for the conference will receive basically a survey that allows you to choose which sessions you want to go to. And so you will have given that a little bit of thought, and you'll be able to reach out to say, hey, who's going to this one? Or looking for somebody to meet at this session. And you can name them by name. It's great for you to get that out there, and that declares your choice. And if on the day you want to go to a different session because you're in a different frame of mind, that's okay. We're not holding you.
Can just tweet them.
Yeah, just tweet them.
And let them know where you're going to be. Yeah. And also, there is a great opportunity for people to connect. And I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about that, Tammy.
Absolutely. So one of our title sponsor this year actually is Meridian Credit Union. And we are thrilled to have them on board as a title sponsor. And they're also going to help us create this amazing experience at the conference through what we're calling the M Connect Zone. M stands for Meridian. And in the Meridian Credit Union retail locations, they have something called M Connect. And so they're bringing that to the conference. And it's in this great room at White Oaks called the Idea Lounge, which even the name itself for the room is fantastic. But there will be people from Meridian Credit Union in that room through the whole conference to help you get good at connecting. So it'll be a space for you to meet up. There's comfy, colorful cushions and chairs. There's whiteboards. There's books. There's going to be materials from the speakers. There's going to be people there that can help you to put your plans in action for the conference and just help facilitate connections. But it's a great place to say, hey, let's meet at the M Connect Zone. And so it's that place that you can go to be comfortable and meet somebody at the conference. And it's open the whole time.
I think that's going to be awesome, because oftentimes we just need a place, especially when you're at a conference and everything's so crazy, and not crazy in a bad way, but crazy in an awesome way. But you just want a place to sit down and overload. Yes, exactly. And just talk. And really, because, you know, the power of networking really comes into getting to know somebody, right? And
the other thing that will be great in this room, so there's wall space that people can write on. And so let's say you meet somebody and you spark up an idea, or you meet them because you can help each other develop this idea. You can just go to work at it on one of the walls in this room at White Oaks. And there's paper there. I mean, you can build and work and plan and create in this room on the spot in the moment. The other thing that will be close to, I think it's just outside, is going to be this wall of awesome. And I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly what we're calling it, but it's going to be a place for you to share your inspiration so that others can see it as well. So it's going to be a zone for creating as well.
I love it, because that Space, you know when you're having like a really cool conversation, you're like, you know what we should do?
Yes,
We've done that, Tammy, where we've sat down and like we're like writing on the back of the napkin
for
because it's just
sure.
like, oh my gosh, I have these ideas. So they're basically
Yeah.
facilitating that on a bigger scale, and you can work together, collaborate, and build insane opportunities for yourself. And again, at the same time, someone gets to see how you work. Someone gets to
Yeah.
see how your brain works and get sort of, just connected to that personality, connected
Mhm.
to that person, and then you build a relationship right then and there. And I think that's super exciting. I love the fact that the M Connect Zone is there because
Yeah, me
that's
too.
something I think more conferences need. So this
Mhm.
is exciting. I love it.
Good.
Okay, finally, we got one more tip for you guys. Just one more tip. That went by really fast. One more tip is do your research. So here's what I mean by that. You're going to this conference, you've set some goals. Now there's particular people that you might want to spend your meeting people. Don't limit who you meet just because they may not necessarily fit in your goals because you don't know who they know.
Right.
But you do want to do some research to find out the people that you want to make sure that you get to meet at the conference. But don't just walk in there and have a basic conversation. And here's what I mean by that. You shouldn't be asking them basic stuff that's already available online. You should be able to go deeper.
Yeah.
So you can do that if you find out they're on Instagram. Do just Google them. We Google people now. It's kind of what we do. So what you may want to do is ensure that you are doing your research by looking at their social media profiles. Maybe their profile on LinkedIn is filled out. Maybe they've taken the time to actually fill out their summary section that gives you a more idea of who they are and what they bring to the table. Also take a look at their network, who they know. And you may not be asking for the ask right there, but it's good to have it in the back of your mind. So as you build the relationship, always focus on relationship first, whether in person or online, you want to focus on that relationship. But at the same time, what you want to make sure that you do is you do your research. So you're having intelligent, awesome conversations that are not at the basic level. You're going deeper because you already have a better starting point
Right.
rather than asking them basic information about how they got there and what they do.
I love that. So instead of saying, hey, what do you do? And
Mm-hmm.
you're going to meet people on the spur of the moment that you'll have enough of those conversations, right? But
Exactly.
for the ones that you plan to meet that are important enough
Mm-hmm.
for you to take the time to plan to meet them, imagine starting your conversation with, I know that, or I see that you are here.
Yes.
And then you're asking a question about that, but you're already acknowledging that, hey, I've done some work and I know what you're doing. I want to ask a question and go deeper about that experience for you. So that you're skipping that awkward first 10 minutes of the conversation because you've already done your homework. I love that. And you
Yeah.
don't have
And
to do that for 200 people, but pick
no.
three. Pick
Yes.
three even. Make it a
Exactly.
manageable number.
Exactly. And that's what I want to see is people just being intentional. For most people, being social is about being intentional. Like for a lot of people it's just not natural for
Yeah.
them to be social when they're just starting out, right? And
Yeah.
it's about building those habits, right? And this is so important. So when you look at any of the strategies from getting on LinkedIn and Twitter to updating your profiles to joining the conversation using the hashtag will be to planning to connect and planning a meetup. So actually connecting with people, planning a meetup, getting into the zone, into the M Connect
Yeah.
zone, and just really getting to know somebody. And then of course doing your research prior to the conference. And all of this is all rooted in your goals. What do you want from the conference?
Absolutely. You said the word intentional and you said purposeful. And I think those are two words that sum it up. Your whole
Mm-hmm.
experience at the conference should be intentional.
Yes.
How can you make that happen? So declare what your intention and your purpose is, and then
Mm-hmm.
build a plan to go after it.
I love it. So, Tammy, coming up on March 25th, we're going to go live again.
We are.
And this time we want to see more people. We want to see you guys come out live. So you're probably watching this on the replay, which is totally fine. We love you just for watching it. But what can we expect on next Saturday? So that's like the Saturday before we're getting
That's
ready
the day
to
before
become
the
road
conference.
conference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what we're going to cover then is a little bit about what to pack and what to bring. So people tend to stress a little bit. Is this going to to be a dressy conference? Do I need to bring a suit? Do I need a dress? And then you're bringing 6 pair of shoes to match the different outfits that you have. So there's a lot of stress in packing sometimes, and we want to take that stress away. We want to remove that distraction for you, and we want to help you know what to pack, what to bring, so that you are your most comfortable and at your best at the conference.
I love it because I know I stress out.
Mm-hmm.
I have been to so many different conferences where my bag is way too big for, let's say, 2 days, and my bag looks like I'm going to Florida for a week, you know?
Yes. Yeah, because you're packing a lot of just in cases.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And also for those, I'm a first timer at Wilby. And I know you've gone so many times that you actually run the joint now, but it's going to be helpful, I think, for you to just like break it down. What do I expect? What, any advice, any tips for going to Wilby, and what should I be doing? Because I'm excited about leveraging this opportunity, because I know the one thing that you really, right from when we met and you were telling me about the conference, you have just got so much business and built so many relationships out of your experience at Wilby that I'd love for you just to get some veteran tips on, how I can leverage this. So it's going to be great. So join us live on March 25th. And also, if you have any questions, whether you have them now, whether you want to ask them live, we want to make sure that we answer them. So you can ask your questions for next broadcast in the questions below. Also, if you have questions about anything that I talked about, ask them down below, because we will pick them up for the next conference, for the next session on March 25th. And again, if you're watching this, you feel like, I can use these tips not just for the Wilby conference, but for any conference, and you think that somebody else going to a conference might get some benefit out of watching this, I'd love for you to share that with them. And of course, make sure you check out the Wilby website, because we have so much information. It's always being updated with all the latest about the conference, and all the stuff is there. So we want to see you there.
Yeah, we do. And tweet your questions even through the week. We check Twitter, we respond. So when you're online joining the conversation, if you have a question or a topic that you want us to cover next week, just tweet it and we'll respond.
I love it. Okay. Well, we are going to wrap up for today's session, and we'll be again here on our Facebook page live for next week. And if you have any questions, we want to know. So ask. And we're all ready next week, March 25th, live, and we'll see you there. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Have a great day, everyone. See you soon.